Hey, how's it going, everybody? So I wanted to talk today about choice. Choice has like two sides of it, right? It's simultaneously simple and complicated at the same time, right? I've been reading this book called The Idiot Factor by Larry Wingett, and some of you might be familiar with him. He has a harsh way of communicating about what it takes to change, right, for a person to make different choices. And I'm still early in the book, but one of his premises is that it's not that hard. We just have to make different choices or step into the choices that we already know we need to make, right? And I was sharing with my brother how I get it on some level, but as spiritual practitioners, we recognize early on that sometimes choice is never as easy as we think it is. It's, within one choice is a compilation of many different things, right? Experiences, personality, perspectives, things we know, because we can't possibly know everything. So when we're ignorant about some things, it makes our choices a little bit different. We don't have the same resources or the same ability to make choices as others might be able to. So what I've learned is that it takes time sometimes to make a different choice. It takes really an emotional drive to get us to start making new choices. It's kind of weird. It's like you have to get to a point where you're just sick of things being the same, and you literally will choose a different behavior, a different choice, if you will, right? And it doesn't happen necessarily overnight. I remember for myself, when I first thought of going clean and sober, it was like a 2 to 3 year journey. I remember the idea came to me. I was like, yeah, someone else has to do it, right? It's not going to be me. And, and then over that period of time, I tried quitting, different types of things. I tried to smoke weed, then up doing more psychedelic drugs, tried to stop drinking, end up smoking more, so it was not like I really quit everything all at once. It was like I was trying to quit, but then noticed I would just fall back to, my other choices, and then at some point in my walk, right, I reached kind of like a revelation, enlightenment, if you will, even though some people don't really care for that word, but it was like that for me. I was enlightened to the truth of something about my life circumstances, my situation. And in that moment, I chose sobriety. And then it kind of evolved where like, I'm going to choose it just for a year. And if I don't like it, I'll go back. Well, obviously, I don't know if it's obvious. If you've been following me, it's obvious. But, 21 years later, I never looked back. And it's been the best choice I ever made. But it took a while. And one of the reasons I share this is there's been a guy that's been on my heart who he's been struggling for these past few months. He can stay clean and sober for a day, maybe even, a couple of weeks, and then he's right back at it. But he's been questioning himself, asking himself, why is it like this? Why does he do this to himself? So I encouraged him and told him that he's on the right track, by asking those questions, because the answers to those questions will lead him to why. And maybe one of those answers will also help him to start making a different decision, a different choice. And that's why I wanted to talk about that today. Because our choices, the things that we choose to do every day, they're not as simple as do this or do that. There's always a lot more contained within. And I put more information here that you can take a look at what typically goes into a choice. All right, hope this is helpful. Take care.